Hey guys, in this video I'm going to tell the story of what happened to Kendrix in Lost Galaxy. Following the Lost Galaxy in Space Team-Up episode was The Power of Pink. I would imagine that was a shocking episode that nobody saw coming. I'll have direct links in the video description for all the figures. And here's a little behind the scenes footage. I had to make a bunch of things for this video, so this piece for the morph is just plaster. It's not perfect, but it's as good as it needs to be for such a short thing. The plaster was actually still wet when I started painting it gold. A lot of the things that I make for this channel have to be made very quickly, and they're only on the screen for about a second, so they don't have to be perfect. They don't even have to be dry when I'm filming them. They just have to look okay in the video. Some things can be reused or repurposed later, and sometimes things are just garbage. This is probably garbage. If you look closely at it, you'll see the edges are very sloppy and chipped, so if I actually wanted something like this, I would do it again and spend more time on it. Next, I spent $30 on some transmission towers. Don't blink, here's the shot. It's a model kit, you have to build it yourself. There's 4 of them. These were not fun to put together. The pieces don't actually lock together, you just have to sit there while the glue dries, and for some reason the glue didn't want to dry on these, so I spent about 2 days putting these stupid things together. And I broke a few pieces off in the process. But again, for the 1 second of screen time, it was fine. And then of course I wanted to get the Zords in here. I really liked that set they built for the American Zord battle scene, so I recreated that with foam and plaster. And typical Bruno, I did not let the plaster dry. I started painting while the plaster was still wet, and then I took my wet mountains upstairs and filmed. That's Hasbro's non-transforming Galaxy Megazord and SMP Astro Megazord. I really like the little Hasbro Megazords. I think people are missing out on those. Recreating the Megazord shot was pretty satisfying. Well, the end result anyway. Even though this was filmed on a green screen, which normally makes life easier, a lot of these shots weren't keying so nicely, so I ended up doing it the more manual and much slower way. You can start to see where the time goes when making videos like this. There were a lot of shots that took 10, 15, 20 plus minutes to edit, and I did 467 shots for this video. And I mean before I started video editing, that's a separate thing. And does everything need to be so perfect? Is anyone gonna notice a little bit of green spill on the Megazord legs? Probably not, but I don't know, that's me. I try to say good enough, and there are a lot of corners that I cut to get things done quickly. But at the same time, I try to make things look as good as they can in a short amount of time. I want to say Kendrix arrived on May 30th, today is June 7th, and I'm still finishing up editing on this video. Like, that's not a long time for what this video is, but it's still a long time. It was about 140 hours I spent on this. Lots of layers, lots of compositing. Turned out well, though. So far, there is no Psycho Pink monster form figure from Bandai or Hasbro, so I got some clay and sculpted the basic shape. It's not like a finished thing, so that's why I made it, I darkened it so you can't see how, how bad it actually is, but it works. Figure-wise, this video would have been really perfect if we had Stingwingers and Psycho Pink's monster form. You know, extra points if we had like Deviat. I would love a Trakina. I made a little rock thing that the Savage Sword goes in. This version of the Savage Sword is clay. Not very good, but you know, again, it works. I needed a morpher for Cassie. Clay, I just used a marker and some paint. This is actually still sticky. And obviously this is bigger than it should be. It's not really to scale. I'm sure someone's wondering why we didn't 3D print it, and that's because that would need to be modeled and printed, and this, you know, I did in 30 seconds, and it's good enough. Here's my Psycho Pink figure. It's just clay. Not colored or anything. If anyone's interested in the larger, better looking Savage Sword, I'll put a direct link in the video description of where you can buy that. The Galaxy book actually came from one of Mia's gargoyle figures. That works. I also used a lot of different hands for this video, and I had to borrow some for other figures like Chun-Li and SPD Yellow. That one was perfect for the Lost Galaxy morph shot. Alright, thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe and ring the bell if you haven't. Obviously I work very hard on these videos. I hope people will see them. Alright, gonna end here. I'll be back with more good things. Stay tuned. Thank you guys for watching. Good night. I think most people are probably aware by now, but the actress that played Kendrix had to leave the show after being diagnosed with leukemia. She's okay now, though, and I think it was really cool that they were able to write her out like that.